Hey guys, today's video is going to be on some data integration versus digital strategy. I wrote an article on this a while ago on LinkedIn and got a lot of comments on it, and wanted to dive into some of these concepts using an actual worked example as opposed to just words. Sometimes you just write words and it doesn't mean anything. But first, really, if you like any of these things, these videos, please obviously comment, like them, subscribe. Not sure how often I'll be able to make these or how many more I'll make, but if I get ideas, I'll definitely want to share everything. But let's just dive right into this. Digital strategy, one of the real core concepts that you want in your digital strategy is this concept of you want to enable your users to manage their own data integration. You don't want something to be based on some rule and linking systems because, well, it breaks, it doesn't work very good. You can't really maintain it very well because it's not user managed. And this is going to be an example of a user managed data integration. So let's just dive into our project website that I had shown everybody. Right now, I'm going to do this example on some construction verification items. So we've got a project, we've got a couple systems. This is just looking at a project based upon some systemization, and underneath each system we have some subsystems, tests, how many are completed. And if we go into a system, now this information would normally come from your commissioning database, your commissioning system. Nothing new here. You've seen these reports, these types of reports. Go into a system view, and in this view, now we're looking at our detailed subsystems for a specific item. This would be looking at some crusher. We've actually got the building, a bin, the actual crusher itself, a rock breaker, substation, that sort of thing. And this is actually our data integration layer, because each one of these groups in our commissioning system, so a subsystem discipline group, actually has a link to a Primavera schedule ID. That is data integration. You've taken something that exists in one system, which is all our tests and our subsystem tree, and we've, at some level, mapped that into Primavera schedule. And when you do that, you can get a P6 description, you can get the start date, end date, and we'll talk about the JIRA task link at the end of this. But this is really what I want to talk about. So when you set up a project, sometimes you might not have good detail in your construction verification or commissioning detail in your schedule. You might not even have it, actually, you won't even have it in your commissioning system yet. You'll develop that during the early stages of your execution. But as it gets developed, you might want to have more granularity in the schedule. So in this case, we actually had one item for CVC crushing, building, electrical, and then everything else was just grouped under the same. During execution, perhaps we sat down with the commissioning guys and the construction guys and the project control. So, let's add some detail. And they said, okay, let's go add some activities for each one of these electrical items, because those are going to be some really core items. Maybe all the mechanical stuff will be done really together, but the electrical is where a lot of the bulk is going to be. So let's put some detail in the schedule. So we're going to go build out the schedule, and that's exactly what we've done. So part 2 of your data integration is actually the user managed aspect, edit mode. So here, anybody can go in here. Specifically, it'll be either the planner who's updated his schedule or the control systems guy, or the commissioning systems guy who's now seen the schedule from the planner. And in this case, we've just added an 02, an 03, and these would be the Primavera IDs that you've actually put into your schedule. I've preloaded these in. They're a bit just dummy. So now once we've done that, I'll go exit. Now we've actually updated our screen to be able to see all the new IDs, actually the actual schedule ID description for these IDs, new start dates, end dates, and maybe have a little bit more granularity than what you had before. And yeah, that's actually what I think is data integration, and really a user managed data integration. One step further, JIRA. So when we actually talk about all these groups and activities, you want to make sure that you're embedded into a discussion in some communication system, not just two guys sitting down at a meeting talking about something. You actually want to record it, especially in the days of remote working where you might not have your planner on site. You can actually get some really good value out of tools like JIRA. So let's just open it up, see what it gives us. And that link just takes us right into a JIRA page for that construction verification. And you can actually send some descriptions. That was the old ID that it was on, old description. I just put in a status of the subsystem CVCs. This was in the old structure that we had. And maybe I want to update this. I want to go in here, and I'm actually going to do a new screen print. I'm just going to go capture all this. It's click, click, click. Go into JIRA, new tech, P6 links updated. There you go. And it's going to paste that in there. Now, all of a sudden, anybody that would go look at this item in their JIRA system to actually know what's going on, some of the communication discussions, they would actually see that, oh, the links are updated. And they can see how I've mapped the subsystem discipline pair into the IDs, the new start dates, the end dates, the task status. If somebody actually wanted to query me on that and change something, they just write a JIRA comment, tag me on it, and I'd be able to see it. Even further, on your JIRA link or JIRA tab, you'd have this link back to your IPEX control panels. Now you're going back from your JIRA to your IPEX list, and your IPEX list to your JIRA tag. So here we are back at IPEX. This is the list of all the detailed tasks for that particular construction verification. Having this type of data integration is exactly where I think that gains can be made in the way that we execute projects. So really, if you find any value in this, definitely comment. And outside that, absolutely love doing this. The topics of digital strategy, data integration, the way you communicate and drive efficiencies on projects, using efficiencies of not just what you do, but maybe how you communicate, and using remote resources where you might not be able to have a full team on site or even a full team in the office. All this can be done effectively remotely in very smart, efficient ways. So thanks a lot, guys, and have a good day.